Hi everyone. So I really quickly wanted to go over how you can make sure your resolution is correct for your Project 1 image. So in our introduction exercise, I kind of covered briefly how to make sure the document you set up is the correct resolution and showing you how to bring images into that. For this project, you may be choosing an image that doesn't fit, a standard document size. So let's just take a look at this real quick. Um, so here I am at Google. I'm going to search for a damaged photograph, not Photoshop, photograph. Okay, and I'm going to go to image search. Okay, and so I'm looking here for damaged photos, right, that might be interesting to repair. Now, of course, the first thing you want to do if you're doing this kind of search is to go to Tools, down to Size, and you have a requirement to use an image that's at least 4 megapixels. Okay, so if you click 4 megapixels here, it should open images that are of 4 megapixels or larger. Now, most of these will work at 4 megapixels. However, something like this image, which if you wanted to use the image on the left-hand side to repair, you could. However, just keep in mind, even though you search for images 4 megapixels or larger, the image you're going to be using is actually about half that size. So if you wanted to use this image to repair, what you would have to do is you click on View Image, okay, and download this image, and then you have to open it in Photoshop, okay? So we'll go to Photoshop here. Okay, so the actual part of the image that I need to use is this left-hand image. So I'm going to press C to go to crop. This is the crop tool right here. If you press C, you can get that tool. And I'm going to just select, see how you can adjust the corners or the sides of your crop to fit the image. I'm going to do that. Okay, so this is the usable part of the image. So I'm just going to hit the checkbox to crop to that. Now, once I've cropped to that, go to Image, Image Size, and this will give you the number of pixels that you've cropped down to. Okay, so this is 1555 by 1834, and I don't think this is going to be 4 megapixels. How do you know how many megapixels it is you multiply the number of pixels in height times the number of pixels in width. Actually, it goes width, height, not height, width, but result is the same. And so I have 2.8 million pixels. So that's about 3 megapixels. That's not large enough for this project, okay? So this image would not be usable for this project. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, if you are downloading an image that is not split in two like this, you're just getting the original single image, because you chose larger than 4 megapixels here, then you can be reasonably sure that you're going to end up with an image of decent enough quality. Now this one would be a little bit more difficult than what we need to do in this class, but if I go to View Image for this one, I can just take it and oh yeah, you have to have a document already open in Photoshop in order to drag it into Photoshop. So I'll just drag it onto my desktop. They've named this file Bad Portrait. We'll open this in Photoshop. Okay, let's take a look at the image resolution here. Go to Image, Image Size. Okay, and notice this image is 3,172 pixels wide by 2,148 pixels high. So if I multiply those two, 3172 by 2148, we have an image that is 6.8 megapixels. And the requirement is 4. So 6.8 is plenty large. However, the issue we have here now is that this image is at a resolution of 72 pixels per inch. Okay, so we know that the image is large enough. However, we need the resolution to be set to 300. And you can change that by just going in and typing 300. Okay, so it will readjust these other settings to be whatever it works out to be. Okay, as long as you know it's 4 megapixels and it's set to 300, that portion of the specification will be correct. Just be careful, okay? Because you don't want to check this resample box, okay? Because what's happening, if I click resample, watch what happens to the image size and the dimensions here. With resample checked, and you choose 300, it is actually increasing the number of pixels in the image. So you're making the image larger without actually being able to add quality to the image. So we never want to resample when we are increasing a number in this window. Sometimes if you are intentionally making the photo smaller, it's okay to resample. However, for our purposes, in just changing the resolution from 72 to 300, you should not be resampling. Okay? And now this image, we already did the math and know that it's at least 4 megapixels, but it also has the correct resolution setting. And you could go on to use this as your image. Okay? So hopefully that kind of squares away how to work with resolution for this project. Again, if you wanted to make sure that an image was the correct resolution for a specific file size, let's cover that again one more time. What you could do is say you want to have, say you wanted to make a square image for this. Okay, you could call this project 1. Let's go ahead and do my recommendation of at least 2000 by 2000 pixels. Okay, we know that 2000 times 2000 is 4 million, so it's 4 megapixels. The resolution is 300 pixels per inch. Okay, RGB color, transparent. So these are all the basic specifications for the file format. We could create that, and then again, we're going to close this since I changed this. We'll open our image in Photoshop also. Okay, so this document, project 1 that I created, is the target document. This image is the image I downloaded from the internet, and I want to make sure that it is, I want to make sure that it's large enough to fit in the document I created. So again, we would select all by pressing Command A, select all, Command C to copy, go to your new document, select the layer it's going to be placed in, and press Command V to paste it. And notice the image is larger than the document, so I know 1, that is more than 4 megapixels, and 2, that it has enough resolution to use. So from here, you could size the image down to fit to the space that you want it to fit, and know that, it's of good enough resolution to use. Okay? So that's how we work with resolution for this project, how to make sure your file is set up right, and how to make sure that you can set it to 300 dpi without it being incorrect. If you have any questions on this, just send me an email or message and let me know. All right.